Which of those four is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
After Theriasse of the new Diddy documentary, titled The Reckoning. Evidence suggests Diddy offered $1 million to 40 gang members at an event to take out Tupac. This would get the attention of the Las Vegas police where it was announced. The Las Vegas police made notes about 50 Cent's The Reckoning Diddy documentary, where never before heard evidence was shared about Diddy paying $1 million for Tupac's passing. Sources expect Diddy to be charged with the crime. This is what 50 Cent has always wanted. Even before he made this Diddy documentary, he tried exposing Diddy in a post-reading.
Yes.
50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy for no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
However, Las Vegas police have already been investigating Diddy for this crime, and some of the evidence is concerning. Beginning on November 18, 1995, Tupac was photographed with Diddy's baby mama, Sarah Chapman. Diddy describes Sarah as being his dream girl. Once he found out she got with Tupac, Diddy got extremely jealous. Pair this with Tupac's career also taking off in the 90s and becoming one of the biggest artists. Diddy wanted the spotlight for himself. This is what resulted in Diddy's first attempt on Tupac, as Tupac claimed Diddy was involved.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug. The police found him, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
With first attempt failing, he tried again. In the Diddy trial, it was announced. Former cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Sugi retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. Diddy hired Keefe D and his crew to get Tupac. But the craziest thing is Keefe D was interrogated back in the day about Tupac's passing, and he literally claimed they met up with Diddy for the Tupac hit. It makes you wonder why the feds never investigated Diddy further.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
With rumors of Diddy being involved with the Tupac passing, he jumped on the Breakfast Club for an interview where things took an awkward turn. They asked Diddy about the rumors, and he tried to shut it down immediately.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
New reports revealed Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. Keefe D, who was the one in charge of setting up the hit after Diddy allegedly paid them.
I allegedly paid them as a wish to take him out.
Even a writer who wrote Tupac's biography claimed that Tupac wasn't meant for all the street stuff because Tupac was just playing a role in the street game, as he claimed Tupac couldn't defend himself and didn't even know how to use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
But when you continue investigating, it proves Diddy didn't act alone, because new reports revealed someone much closer to Tupac also played a part. The reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. The new name brought up is Suge Knight. When you realize that Suge could be involved, It starts to make you wonder about this leaked lyric from an unreleased Eminem song in 2003. I'm holding Suga responsible for the passing of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet. If only the late Christopher Wallace could talk, he could tell you himself. I'm holding Suga responsible for the passing of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the role. It seems like Eminem knew Suga was behind Biggie and Tupac. With it coming out that Diddy was too, it's possible they worked together. But to make it not so obvious, they tried to pin the crime on someone else. As Detective Russell Poole from the case suspected Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label and frame the rival Blue Street team to throw off investigators. Which raises the question of who's a famous Blue member that Suge wanted to pin the crime on. You quickly come to the conclusion that the plan was for Snoop Dogg to take the blame. He's one of the most famous Blue members from the streets, and his recent podcast revealed he was very close to the situation. Snoop claimed that he was supposed to be in the car on the night that Tupac was targeted.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
They were supposed to be together, but because of an argument they had in the days prior, they were on bad terms, and Snoop didn't go.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With the show painting within 72 hours of Tupac's passing, the police got suspicious of Snoop Dogg and what he was capable of. Because you have to remember that Snoop was heavily tapped into the streets and was also a street member. Is it possible Snoop found out what Diddy told 40 Blue members and that he had $1 million for whoever got Tupac? Because people speculate that Snoop easily could have found out that information and was the reason he avoided Tupac before his passing. But the argument Tupac and Snoop had must have been bad because Snoop claims that Tupac completely hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out.
Although the physical evidence from the Diddy trial gave the courtroom chills when Keefe D explained how Tupac was taken out. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with Suge Knight. They went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, and once it was over, they spotted Blue member Baby Lane in the lobby, which quickly led to a brawl.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Sek erratically came over and broke up the altercation, but this situation got Baby Lane angry. Tupac and Suge went back to the hotel to change their clothes for the night, and at the same time, Baby Lane informed his team that Tupac went after him in the MGM Grand, In case you didn't know, Baby Lane was in the same crew as Keith with them. All knowing about the $1 million bounty and Tupac having an altercation with Baby Lane, they thought this was the perfect time to do it. Once Tupac was ready, him and Suge got into the BMW to head out to a club. Once they stopped at an intersection, the crime would happen in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keith D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
Initially, the feds had no idea who actually did the crime, but they knew something was up with Keefe D. But in 2019, Keefe D would come clean about the situation and revealed how they pulled up on Tupac.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
Got to the light. We was supposed to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
He explained it happened so fast because he claims Tupac was reaching for a firearm once they pulled up, but that isn't confirmed.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
It's possible this was Keefe D's way to try and claim it was in self-defense. Or it's possible Tupac actually did pull out a firearm, but only Keefe D really knows. It's important to note that Keefe D wasn't the actual one to do it to Tupac. It was Baby Lane, who was also in the car with him, that did the crime. It's just strange that the police never investigated this situation fully so that they could arrest Baby Lane on the charges. Because on the night of the crime, the police interrogated Keefe D. They knew he had something to do with it.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
They couldn't put the pieces together. And if you're wondering why Baby Lane was never charged, it's because he passed to a separate street incident just 2 years later. However, the police found Keefe D's true reaction to Tupac's passing in the present day, and he regrets it.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happened. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
However, evidence files continue to get weirder the more you look into it. Despite the claims of Tupac passing, some people believe he could still be alive. It's important to note that Tupac never passed at the scene. Instead, he went to the hospital, and they claim he passed after a few days. Like we mentioned earlier, Tupac was playing a role. As an officer revealed, Tupac was an industry plant, and his job was to try stopping the escalation of beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes, And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Tupac Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
The plan was actually working because Biggie and Tupac were friends until the first attempt that Diddy took on Tupac, with the street rivalry escalating as a result of Tupac being targeted. It only got worse until the night that Tupac was taken out. But what's interesting to learn is that Suge Knight, who was in the car with him, believes that Tupac is still alive, which we'll share later in the video. Because in the files, there's an interview from a rapper named Tretch in 2010. Tretch and Tupac were close friends back in the day. But in the middle of an interview, things got weird. The interview was asking Tretch questions like normal, but once he put the camera down, he asked about the last time he saw Tupac. Keep in mind, this is 14 years after Tupac's passing, but Tretch answers the question like it's totally normal. He doesn't question why this reporter would be asking this over 14 years since his passing, as Tretch responds saying, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
A couple weeks after the interview clip leaked, a website posted video of what looks to be Tupac down in Cuba.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory.
That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
But it doesn't seem like just a theory anymore, because Suge Knight, who was in the car with Tupac, claims he was alive and well in the hospital. As Suge says, and I quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
This makes people really wonder if Tupac passed. Suge Knight was one of the closest people to Tupac and would have checked up on him daily at the hospital after the incident. When you also factor in Tupac was an industry plant who had the specific role of trying to make peace in the streets, is it possible whoever was in charge of Tupac decided it was too much risk for him at that point, so they faked his passing at the hospital? It's important to note that Suge has said this exact same thing in different interviews. It's not like he makes up a bunch of different lies as he goes about the situation. He remains certain that Tupac was recovering well in the hospital.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
To make it even more concerning, after the interview, he was targeted at a club when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times, which made Knight hesitant to tell the police anything because he believed it was because he spoke about Tupac being alive. But it gets real interesting when Suge's son gets involved. Many people believe this was Suge's son just trying to get clout for himself, but some people actually believe him. In 2018, he posted on Instagram stating that Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. In the following days, he posted again with a text conversation which said, "You said too much. Time for you to go." With Suge's son worrying about his safety, he crashed out on Instagram and posted pictures of Tupac with modern celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem like someone was after him for leaking the information as he captioned the post. "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." But what do you think happened? Do you think there's any chance Tupac is around today? Or do you think the feds need to look into Diddy and bring charges against him?